Most basic sewing machines nowadays come with the basics of zigzag, a buttonhole maker, and some other fancy stitches. But there is one feature that I think is very important, especially for new sewers, that they don't all come with, and that is needle stop up. Needle stop up means that every time I stop stitching, the needle returns to the top position. It always returns to the top. Obviously, this is important for when you're sewing that the needle is out of the fabric so that you can take the fabric out easily, but there's another reason that's even more important. I'm going to demonstrate using this other machine that does not have needle stop up. You can see here when I stop that sometimes the needle stops all the way into the fabric, sometimes it stops up. You really have no idea where it's going to stop. If you've sewn before, you know that in order to raise this needle, you can use the hand wheel over here on the right, always turning it towards you, and that will raise the needle. But it's important to stop not only with the needle out of the fabric, but also with the take-up lever, which is here, all the way at the very top position. Why is that? Well, the complete stitch cycle for a machine includes that take-up lever being all the way up to the top. If I were to sew a seam, in this case, you can see that the needle is partway into the fabric. And if I lift the needle up just enough so that I can remove the fabric, it doesn't want to come. It's very hard. And if I pull hard enough, you can see that there are multiple threads here. That's because the take-up lever wasn't all the way up to the top. If I raise the take-up lever all the way up to the top now I just have the two threads. Now, obviously, you can, every time you stop, just turn that hand wheel and raise the needle up and the take-up lever all the way up the top, and you will eliminate that problem. That is how I learned to sew. I had a machine that did not have needle stop up, and I became accustomed to that. But I can tell you that 30 years ago, when I got my current machine and it had needle stop up, it was life changing. It was so much nicer. It just eliminates an extra step, and for new sewers, it's an extra step that might not be ingrained yet, and then you will have tangled threads and not know what's going on. So that's why I recommend for all new sewers to try to get a machine that has that feature, needle stop up. If you're interested in finding out more about features that might be on a new basic sewing machine, I do have a free download. You can get it in the description below. It explains what those features do and the reasons that you may or may not need them. I hope this helps.